Well, I went to college at the University of Houston. Fond memory. Well, one thing that stands out in my mind. First of all, let me start out by telling you there's two animals I really don't like. I don't like snakes, and I definitely don't like bats. My roommate and I found a way we can unlock our windows late at night to let the cool air in, and we unlocked our windows and we were all happy sleeping. Middle of the night, a bat flew into our dorm, and it was one of those little bitty vampire looking bats, and they're the creepiest things up close you can imagine. But anyway, one of these bats flew in to our room and landed on my pillow right next to my head. And I remember waking up and having this thing hit me in the head a couple times, and I woke up barely, able to focus, and I see this bat wingy thing kind of jump off the bed and run across the room, and man, I jumped out of my bed, turned on the lights, screaming, woke up my roommate, and we ended up, he thought I was actually dreaming the whole thing, and it was funny because we finally turned on all the lights, and we found it in the corner underneath the dresser, and we captured this thing, and sure enough, it was a little vampire bat. And it was just one thing I'll never forget. It really was kind of funny. And for the longest time, I thought I was a vampire because I thought it must have been.
He's a really nice guy. He's really funny. He's very smart. I don't think I could ever do his job.
The degree I got was computer science degree, Bachelor of Science. I was required to finish 4 years. Being a software engineer is a pretty exciting career. You're working a lot with state-of-the-art technology, so you get to see what our world's coming into. So anything that is cutting edge, and it touches all fields of, you can imagine, from marketing to construction to computer-aided design, gaming, everything.
I've done basic coding once, but what Steve does is phenomenal. I can never do anything like that.
Well, my dad bought a computer when I was just a kid, and I thought it was an amazing thing. It was really primitive. It was an Apple IIe computer, and I was so fascinated that this thing could actually do these real simple math problems really quickly, like a computer, like a calculator, but a lot more advanced, where you could tell it what to do and choose different paths of how it would react. Well, one thing I do a lot of as a software engineer is I go to meetings, lots and lots of meetings. We're always deciding and trying to solve complex problems, so there's always lots of collaboration when you're dealing with software engineers. I'm not a heads-down programmer, I'm more of a solution architect, so I'm always trying to solve complex problems. The solutions on paper, get everyone to agree with the solution and cover all use cases to make sure we don't get any issues that might rise in the future, make sure it's robust, it could be very versatile on different platforms. And then we get those instructions down to the developers, and the developers actually start doing the coding. And sometimes I roll up my sleeves and do the coding too. So, one thing I love most about the job is when I come into work and I'm faced with a big, tough challenge. And that's always exciting when I come in and there's something that's broken, some emergency, some production server down, or there's some software bug that no one can figure out and it's critical, mission critical. And be able to come in there in a high pressure situation, come and solve the problem, it's just really rewarding. That's the thing I enjoy the most.
I played badminton with Steve once. It was fun. Except for the part I lost like 30 times. God, he's a god at badminton.
My role model has been, most of my life has been my father. I've always wanted to be just like my dad. I've always admired the way he handled himself at work personal home life. It was pretty all work, and he was, getting things done. He was always being efficient and really good in his studies and so forth. And now that I've kind of reached his age, I realize that I've kind of done everything he's done pretty much, and now I'm sort of like breaking out and wanting to become my own person. So I really don't want to be exactly like any one person or have one role model. I've been working at my job for 12 years at Autodesk. Been a software engineer for over 25 years. Makes me feel old. If I had to pick another job, I'd probably want to be an astronaut, because I've always wanted to travel to space and see places that no one's ever seen before, ever. What do I like least about the job? For one thing, I definitely hate the commute, and even worse than that, I hate doing mundane work. And going to work and sitting in meetings all day long is just the worst in the world. So I can't stand that. Superpower. I've always been impressed with the superpower of Magneto, but he can only bend metal. So I'm thinking a little twist on that. If I could have a superpower to be able to bend wood in all wood-like products, that'd be really super cool. I can actually cause books to turn pages. I could then have paper fold in origami shapes at will. Or even better than that, I could actually make things print, throw things around the room that are wood furniture. It'd be super cool.
During the film The Drug Bust, in between scenes, he told me this really funny joke in it, and it made me laugh.
Drug Bust. I remember that movie. That I think was my my start into the new acting career I'm going to probably pursue. I liked it. I grew out a goatee, trying to look pretty tough. I thought I pulled it off pretty good. I was pretty kind of spooked at myself, looking at myself on the big screen. But then you notice later on I had it shaved off, so director didn't even noticed that I actually had shaven my goatee off. So I don't know. It was a lot of fun. I'd do it again.
Working on all these films with Steve has just been so fun. He's just such a cool dude.
I think we made about $0. Yeah.
Oh, I went to college, or actually I went to the university. Cut. Remix.
Such a cool dude. Nailed it.
That was literally like 3
He was a great actor. He taught me a lot of things. Go.
This one time I was I don't know what to talk about. This makes no sense.
Okay, Steve is just fascinating. I find his job very interesting, and
He told me this really funny joke in it, and it made me laugh.